You know, Justin is having a very good year in the American Hockey League with a very good hockey team. And at this stage of his career, I don't think it would be in his interest or our interest to bring him up and sit him on the bench and maybe play him a game or two games when he's playing the majority of the games down with the Marlboros. And you know, Justin will have his chance next year in training camp, barring injuries, obviously.
Cliff, do you think it says anything different, maybe bad, about the culture of the team that you took over here when 5 of the core players, none of whom have been in the playoffs, refused to move on?
Well, it's an interesting question, and I'm sure it's a debatable issue, which at this stage I don't think I'll get into debating with you.
Cliff, were all the draft picks received today for the upcoming draft this year?
3 of the 4 were.
3 of the 4 were?
Yeah.
Which one was the one was it for 09?
The second pick from Pittsburgh, the 5th round pick is in 09.
Second round?
The 5th round pick, the second pick from Pittsburgh.
Cliff, did you get a sense of how far back the rebuilding of this team was set back by not being able to persuade any of those players to waive their no-trade clauses?
Well, there definitely would have been opportunities there that would have looked pretty good for the future of the Maple Leafs, but that doesn't necessarily mean that opportunities won't be available in the off-season.
When you look at what Atlanta got for Hossa, do you sense that you maybe could have gotten a comparable deal for Mats had Mats been able to be shopped?
Well, you could speculate that. I mean, they made the deal. I think Mats had better market value than Hossa going into this period. So we probably would have done very well. But it's academic right now. And Mats is a great hockey player and a great captain and a great Maple Leaf. So we don't deny him his right, and we're proud that he's still with the team.
The team had a pretty good win last night. They've been playing better lately. Is this kind of almost at cross purposes now with what you're trying to do? I mean, obviously the higher the pick, the better.
Well, you play to win games, Dave. And every player who puts his hockey gear on every night is doing so with the purpose of going out there and winning. That's the nature of our business. The coaches want to win. That's their jobs. And we have a lot of fans who pay a lot of money to see the Leafs play, and they deserve to see the best effort and the best product they can, game in, game out. The draft, unfortunately, will take care of itself, or fortunately, and there is a lottery. So, you know, that there are good players available in the draft, so wherever we pick, hopefully we'll select a good player. But the name of the game right now is, with 18 games left, is to win as many as we can.
Steve alluded, the team is playing a little better. What have you learned since you took over? I think the team's a couple of games above 500. What have you learned about this team?
Well, I've learned that last year they started to play very well when nothing was on the line as they got closer to the trade deadline. And the bottom line is we have to get a better team here. Whether we miss the playoffs or make the playoffs by 2 or 3 points, that's not what we're looking for. That's not what I was brought in for. And that's not what my successor, the ultimate man, will be brought in for. So we have to change this team to move forward. And believe me, we intend to move forward.
How do you convince fans that this team is on the right track?
Well, you can only convince them with results, with action. And unfortunately, in professional sports, be it the NHL or the other 3 major sports, there's no miracle cures, there's no secret formulas, and it all takes time. But hopefully, gradually, we can build the team to where we want it to be proud of, and to compete at the highest level in the league.
Cliff, has the team made any decisions who you're going to call up for the Marlies for the game tomorrow in Florida?
They're working on it right now. They're talking with Paul, who's down in Florida. And I'm sure our PR department will have that for you in a couple of hours at the latest.
Cliff, where is the search at for a successor? Has there been any movement on that?
I'm not part of the interviewing process. I don't know. You'd have to ask Gord Kirk that question or Richard Petty.
Do you expect the team that comes out of training camp next year to be drastically different than the one that people will see for the next 18 games?
I sure hope it will be. And we're going to work on it. I mean, sometimes you don't need a lot of pieces in place, but you need some important ones just to change things. And we're going to change this hockey club.
Cliff, is that a tough message to say to the team when here are these guys about 6 points away from a playoff spot right now, and while it might be ambitious to some, these guys are thinking that they still have a shot, and you're saying, you know, we've got to change this group to get better?
Well, then, you know, they have the opportunity to get out there and show us they can do it. The players that left today were not really part of the core of the team. So the core is there, and it's their challenge. And I'd love to be sitting up in the press box looking at playoff games this year.
If not through trade, are you going to look at maybe buying out contracts?
We're going to look at all our options, absolutely.
Is that an option, though?
Absolutely.
Anybody else? Thanks.
All right, gentlemen, lady, thank you.
All right.